A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English, 'cause it's so much fun. English education for you and everyone, so come along. Learn some grammar, learn a phrase, learn something new every day. Learn the A+ way. Hey, it's time to start the show. Are you ready? Good, 'cause here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English.
Hello everyone, welcome to A+ English. I'm Mike.
I'm Chickling.
And we are back with Evelyn and Ethan as they learn about the fire triangle. Ethan's quite the expert in building campfires, not forest fires. He's an expert at building campfires, and he was teaching Evelyn a little bit about the fire triangle. Do you remember the three things in the fire triangle?
Oxygen,
yes,
heat, and fuel.
Very, very well done.
I'm actually very smart.
You are very smart. Exactly right. You need all of those things, the fuel, the oxygen, and the heat in order to make a fire. Let's look at our warm-up question here. What are some good and bad things about fire?
In the wintertime, fire is a good thing.
That's true.
You got fire in your fireplace.
Very true. But fires can destroy things too.
Right. So we gotta be very careful when using fire.
Absolutely. Fire can cook our food.
Yay!
It makes our food safer and healthier too. That's a good thing about fire. But fire can also hurt people. It can burn. It can hurt a lot.
Right.
Yeah. Have you ever burned yourself?
Yes.
You have? It's not fun, is it?
I almost burned myself like this morning when I was making my eggs.
What were you doing with the eggs?
Because I wasn't like focused.
You got to pay attention when you're around fire. You might be used to it. It might seem fine and safe, but fires can quickly spread and cause accidents. I recently got a new fire extinguisher for my kitchen.
Wow.
And I feel much safer about that.
That's very safe.
Yes,
oh my God, really? You have a fire extinguisher in your kitchen?
I do, yes. Well, there's one in our apartment, in the building, but it's kind of outside, so anyone can use it if they see there's a problem.
Where did you buy it? Is it really available?
Just one of those everything stores. It's quite small. It's like this big. And every month or so, I pick it up and I just clean it off and I read the instructions again. Because you have to pull this thing and stand here and squeeze it for 2 seconds. I always do it because I sometimes think if there's a real fire, I'll be like, oh my God! And I won't have time to read and think. So I try to train myself to use it safely. Because I've worked in kitchens before, and fire, especially when you're cooking with oil, fires can happen quickly and they can get pretty scary all of a sudden. So it is a good thing to know about fire and be prepared to use fire safely and also be prepared to avoid accidents. Let's get back to our article and find out if Evelyn and Ethan have burned themselves down.
Evelyn and Ethan learn about the fire triangle. Warm-up question. What are some good and bad things about fire?
Learn about the fire triangle. Fire burns with these three things. 1. Fuel. Fuel is a fire's food. The fire can't live without it. A fire goes out when the flames use up all the wood. 2. Oxygen. Oxygen is a fire's breath. The fire suffocates without it. When you cover a candle flame with a cup, the flame dies out. That's because you took away the oxygen.
All right, well, we're going to learn about the fire triangle again. So let's get into our article. It begins by saying, Learn about the fire triangle. That's what I just said.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. So we're going to learn about the fire triangle. Fire burns with these three things. It takes three things to make a fire. We know what they are. She knows what they are, clearly. And do you guys remember? Well, we'll get to it in a second.
Fire triangle 就是火三角，所以火三角需要我们刚刚讲的三样东西，我们刚刚有讲过，但是我们刚好像有讲过吧？有啦，老师刚刚一直讲，大家记得。所以 triangle 就是有 three elements 的意思哦，因为三个角嘛。
Okay.
Very important.
Very important and also good basic science that everyone should know. Let's look at the first part of that triangle. Fuel. Fuel is a fire's food. That's right. It's what you are burning to make the fire. The fire can't live without it. A fire goes out when the flames use up all the wood. So that's basically how we would make a fire. We would keep adding wood or whatever to it, adding fuel to the fire. We'll let the fire to continue burning and maybe even get bigger. You should also remember that any of these three things, if you take them away, the fire will go out, right? So you need them to make a fire, but if you have a fire there, then you take the burning stuff away, whatever's left there will burn out and the fire will no longer burn because you take the fuel away. In the same way, if you take gas out of your car, it will not work. It has no fuel.
所以燃料当然很重要，因为它是火的食物，你没有燃料，火就没有办法继续烧下去嘛。所以就像你的火烧完全部的那个木材，其实火它就烧不下去的意思。
Okay, the next thing that the fire needs is oxygen, air, in other words, because of course there is oxygen in the air that we breathe, and fires also need oxygen. It says oxygen is a fire's breath. In the same way that oxygen gives us life, the oxygen also will give the fire life. The fire suffocates without it. To suffocate is basically when you can't breathe, when you cover your mouth, you would suffocate. If you held your hand there for long enough, don't try that at home. And also, we can suffocate a fire. This is often what they tell you when you're cooking and the oil might catch fire in a pan. Put the top on the pan, right? Or they even have fire blankets. You put a heavy blanket. Or if someone is burning, often we tell them to get down the ground and we cover them with a blanket. We are stopping the oxygen from entering. And in fact, many fire extinguishers work the same way. They make that sort of cloud of chemicals and it basically goes over the fire, stops the oxygen from getting in. Poof, fire goes out.
所以 breath 就是气息嘛，那么 suffocate 就是窒息。呼吸不难，所以氧气是火呼吸的空气，火没有它就窒息啦。
All right, so when we get back to the article, next it says, when you cover a candle flame with a cup or a glass or anything, the flame dies out. Yes, again, this is a very fun and common experiment to do. Be careful. Now, what's going on there? You have that little flame, and then you cover it, and then it dies out. It goes out. It stops being a flame. That's because you took away the oxygen. Without oxygen, the fire will die out or go out. It's true.
所以你看这个例子就是什么？比如说你有火在烧，然后你用一个 cup 一个杯子把它盖起来，火焰就不见，因为氧气没有了，所以火就没有了。
All right, let's get back to the article and talk about the third element of the triangle.
3. Heat. Heat is like a fire's body temperature. Pouring water on a fire makes its temperature drop. This makes the fire go out. These facts are important to know for fire safety and putting out dangerous fires.
And that third element, as everyone remembers, is heat. Heat is like a fire's body temperature. You can't really have a cold fire. That doesn't really work. Pouring water on a fire makes its temperature drop. This makes the fire go out. And of course, that's why firefighters And anyone who's around might find some water, either in a bucket, you just keep pouring water, or you spray it on with a hose like a firefighter will. It will also keep out block the oxygen a little bit, but you're really lowering the temperature because once the fire gets too cool, it will just go out again.
所以 pour 就是去倾倒。那么热源就像火的体温，因为你比如说你在火上浇水，温度下降，火也会熄灭了。Are you scared of fire?
Well, I mean, I don't spend a lot of time hanging around with fire. We're not best friends or anything. But where?
Do you know, like my uncle, he used to do this trick, like on me. He played this trick on me where he just holds this lighter and then the fire is up here and then he just uses his fingers to like play with the fire. And it doesn't seem that he gets hurt.
Okay.
Is it possible? Like, I'm so scared of fire.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he has very thick skin or something like that. But I mean, if you carefully put your hand through a little flame, it should be okay. Just don't hold it there for a long time. But no, I think I'm not too scared of fire, but being in a place that's on fire, I think that would be a scary situation for anyone. But if someone brings me a birthday cake and there's candles on it, I'm not screaming and running out of the room or anything like that. I'm just, don't put it near my hair. I don't want my hair to catch on. If my hair catches on fire, then I will be scared.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get back to the article. Are you scared of fire? Sometimes. These facts, it says, are important to know for fire safety and putting out dangerous fires. Yes, it's true. You should know how fire works, understand what's going on, and then, as we said, if there's a way to break that triangle by either removing the fuel, the oxygen, or the heat, you can do something active and smart to put out a fire. So let's get into another discussion here.
所以呢，我们要怎么 How can we prevent fire at home?
Exactly right. That's where I would be scared of fire. I mean, waking up and having your house on fire in the middle of the night, I think that would be an extremely scary situation for anybody. So let's see how we can avoid this. One thing it says is smoke detectors. Yes, these simple little machines that you can buy at a hardware store and many other places. Put one in every room, test them every month, and change the batteries yearly. A smoke detector that is not working is useless. Another good thing to do is, if you can, try to vacuum out the smoke detector. Sometimes dust can get in them, and that can cause them to not work very well. So a good smoke detector, it's actually the law in Canada. I think in most houses, you must have.
I think I have two.
Working smoke detectors. Very good.
Yeah.
That's good. Another thing you should do is be careful with cooking. Yes, generally, I would say cooking or the kitchen is a place fires often start in people's homes. Never leave the kitchen while cooking. Well, especially if you're using fire. I mean, if you stop in the middle of making a salad, I think that's okay. But if you're cooking anything, if you have a pot there boiling water or whatever, don't go away. Keep flammable items away from the stove.
Like your hairspray.
Like your hairspray, or like what I did the other day. I lit one of my my heat pads. You know those little things that you protect your hands with while you pick up hot stuff? I was cooking with a pan, one of those cast iron pans.
Okay.
It doesn't have a safe handle. It's metal.
Okay.
So I always use that, but it was a little bit too close to the stove.
Okay.
And so I noticed smoke. And I took it. And what did I do? I moved it immediately into the sink and I added some water to lower the temperature. And now I just have a little heating pad pickup thing that's burned in the corner.
That's cute, but it's kind of, you almost got into a disaster.
It could have been bad. Yes. So do be careful. Here's another time you should be careful with fire in a less direct way. Electrical safety. Check for damaged wires and replace them, right? If you have wires that are sort of coming loose on an older machine, replace them, or certainly cover them up with some electrical tape.
Right.
Don't overload electrical outlets, those wonderful power bars so that you plug in everything in your room. Don't add power bars to power bars to no, don't do that. If there are 4 plugs in there, only plug 4 things. Don't get cute and try to power your whole neighborhood with one power bar. that's going to overload it, cause it to overheat, and potentially cause it to catch on fire, maybe in the middle of the night or something terrible. And also kids. Kids and fire are not a good combination. I would also add in pets. Pets and fire, not a good combination. Keep matches and lighters away from kids, obviously, and teach children about the dangers of fire.
Right.
You can say things like, fire bad.
A fire bad.
And they might remember that. And then eventually you can teach them about the triangle.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. Okay, so 我们来看看今天所有的单字吧。所以 live 就是活着生存的意思哦，比如说居住也可以哦，比如说 live in a city 住在一个城市里面 They live in a bustling city filled with opportunities 或者是呢有长寿你 live a long life 或我们英文常讲的 live and learn 就是活到老学到老 For example, I made a mistake, but you live and learn 那我们看另外一个例句People need food, water, and air to live. 人需要食物、水跟空气来生存。那我们再看一下另外一个片语哦 ，take away 就是移除。我们的三态是 take, took, taken。比如说食物带走了去餐厅，就是 take away food. We decided to take away some food from the restaurant for dinner. 那我们看另外一个课文例句哦 ，Let's take away this chair. 我们把这个椅子移走吧。There's not enough space at the table. 因为这张桌子旁边呢，那个空间不够了，所以把椅子移走。那另外一个动词呢 ，drop 就是下降、降低，或者是东西掉落了。比如说你的手机掉了 She accidentally dropped her phone and the screen cracked 萤幕就裂掉了或者是我们口语常说 drop the ball 就是失误 He dropped the ball on the project and missed the deadline 那我们看另外一个句子The heater didn't work, so the temperature in the room dropped to 10 degrees Celsius. 暖气坏掉了，所以整个房间的温度呢就降到了摄氏10度而已。那我们看另外一个句子那个 fact 另外一个字 sorry fact 这个字呢就是事实或情况所以我们常常讲话说我很肯定一件什么事情我们就会说 I know for a fact that she is lying 我就很肯定她就是在说谎啊或者是 as a matter of fact 也就是有其实或 in fact 的意思比如说 As a matter of fact, I've been to that restaurant several times and always enjoyed the food 我超爱那间餐厅的那我们看另外一个句子哦 I learned many facts about Taiwan's history when I went to the museum 我去博物馆的时候呢得知了许多关于台湾历史的事情 Okay, so that's all we have for today's lesson. Right now, let's go to our review time activity.
Review time.
All right, today we are going to a review time as usual. And as usual, we have 4 words from our article today to go over one more time. Those words are live, take away, drop, and fact. Are you ready to play a game? Of definitions.
Definitions, yes.
I am going to basically describe the word to you, use other words to talk about this word, and you're just going to have to figure out which word I'm describing or talking about. All right, so to remove something from somewhere.
To take away.
To take away, to remove, to take away, that's kind of the same kind of word. Okay, to let fall.
Let fall. Drop something.
To drop something. Very, very good. A bit of information.
A bit of information. Oh, fact.
A fact. It's a fact that a fact is a bit of information. Very good. And to be alive.
That's us. We're living our lives.
To exist. To live. You did so well.
I'm so smart.
Absolutely.
And I also learned how to make a fire.
And you learned how to make a fire.
Yes.
Look at that. What a good day we've had here together. And with you guys, thanks for joining us. Be careful of your fires. Love the worms. Blow out your candles carefully. What else can we say? And always have a fire extinguisher around. If you can.
I'll get a new. I'll get one today.
Okay.
Maybe
excellent.
later.
And I'm gonna go home and check the batteries on my my smoke detectors.
Okay.
Not sure I did that since the winter time. All right, guys, take care.
喜欢今天的内容吗？记得按赞、订阅、开启小铃铛，就不会错过任何精彩的内容喽。拜拜。